He beat cancer twice, and now a Littleton man is going to new heights to inspire others going through the same thing.
Sean Swarner just completed the Explorer's Grand Slam. That means he climbed the North and South Pole and all 7 summits. He's the only cancer survivor ever to summit Mount Everest.
And Denver 7 sports anchor Allison Mastrangelo talked with Swarner about his journey, and this is an incredible story, Allison.
Oh my gosh, it's so incredible. I can't wait to share it. It's something only 56 people in the world have completed right now. It took about 70 miles and over a week to get to the North Pole, and Sean Swarner wants to use his journey to motivate and inspire others to get out of their comfort zones.
Every time I wake up, I tell myself today's the best day ever. When I was 13, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and that's when I was given 3 months to live. So as an 8th grader, it was awful. My friends were out chasing girls, collecting baseball cards, having a great time with their lives, and here I was, literally 60 pounds overweight, crying my eyeballs out, pulling chunks of hair out of the drain. I was in remission for about a year, going in for a checkup. For the first cancer, they found a second cancer that was completely unrelated to the first cancer.
After multiple rounds of chemotherapy, radiation, and a medically induced coma, Sean is now 25 years cancer-free, leading him down a path of wanting to help those touched by cancer.
After doing research, no cancer survivor had ever climbed Mount Everest. I figured, why not me? Why not for the right reasons? And I wanted to use it as a 29,000-foot platform to scream hope.
And dedicating his climb to all of those fighting the disease.
Anybody who's ever been touched by cancer climbed it with me. I had a flag that was about this big that had names of people touched by cancer.
But in 2002, climbing Mount Everest wasn't enough for Sean. He wanted more.
If people see a guy who's with one lung climbing the highest mountains on every continent, people might think to themselves, huh, if that schmuck can do it, I can do.
So he embarked on a 14-year, 11-month trek, climbing the 7 summits, the South Pole, and this April, completing the Slan by skiing to the North Pole. On this 8-day journey, Sean battled exhaustion, polar bear sightings, and wind chills 80 below, causing his breath to freeze over his eyebrows, all in order to reach his Arctic destination.
I don't want to say it's anticlimactic, but because there's nothing there. It's not like you reach the top of Everest. You're like, okay, this is the top, this is the summit, this is it. And then you have to go back down because it's only halfway. But with the North Pole, you get there and then you're like, okay, I'm here.
While he didn't see Santa in his sleigh at the North Pole, he did have time to throw on his Broncos hat and snap a quick photo before heading to warmer weather.
I'm pretty sure that they've never had a Broncos hat at the North Pole. They should give me season tickets.
But in all seriousness,
I don't think it's had time to sink in yet. You know, being the only cancer survivor who's ever done what I've done, again, out in the Hawaii Ironman, I'm the only person in history who's done what I've done. I don't think it's had time to sink in yet.
What would be your advice to people maybe that are watching? Maybe they don't think they can do an Explorer Grand Slam.
But they have their own Explorer's Grand Slam.
Right.
People have their own Everest. People can go out and push themselves one step at a time. I mean, my first goal literally was to go from the hospital bed to the bathroom so I wouldn't soil the sheets. Then I went and wheeled myself around the nurse's station, and then I went and climbed some stairs, and then I went exploring. Now, it was one step at a time, but you have to keep the end in mind.
So I had to ask what's next for Sean. He says he kind of feels like he has this vacant space. I mean, he spent almost 15 years of his life preparing for this. However, he did propose to his girlfriend via satellite phone at the North Pole, and she said yes. So he says maybe marriage is his next big adventure.
Oh yeah, marriage is nothing compared to Everest. But also, just what a lovely guy.
Oh my gosh, the nicest, the energy he gives out, and he was like helping me with like, you know, this is what you should do in the future, all this advice. I'm like, let's talk later.
Inspirational speaker, yes.
Yes, and he is.
Thank you for that.
Beautiful.
Gosh, thank you for that.
Thank you.